Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode summary video. We have not done one of these in a while because, of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's has been off the air for 5 weeks. Episode 6 is airing tonight, or at least tonight at the time of uploading and recording this video. And a couple of days ago, we actually got the summary of episode 7, which is a really interesting summary, and I kind of feel like a fool because when the summary came out on Wednesday, I said to myself, you know what, I will wait till Friday morning. I will wait for the cast list to get some character names because I think there's going to be a lot of new character names on the cast list. And of course, Friday morning comes, and we do not get a cast list. The cast list is delayed, and so I'm not going to wait for the cast list to come out because who knows, honestly, how long that is going to take. And early on, the cast lists have actually been pretty inconsistent coming out at the correct time. With Vrains and Arc 5, the cast lists almost always came out when they were supposed to come out. Every now and then, you would get a delay. But I think with Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's, through the first 7 episodes, I think 3 or 4 of the cast lists have been delayed and have not come out at the expected time. So that'll be interesting to see if that continues, where the cast list release is kind of more 50-50, whereas the other shows, it was like 95% we were always going to get the cast list. But just something interesting to keep in mind for people like me who like to track the cast lists and are used to them coming out at a, exact time. Regardless, we are not here to talk about the cast list release schedule. We are here to talk about the episode 7 summary. And before I get into that, if anyone wants to play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pick'em game where you pick the duels for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's, I know it has been a while since the last time people have sent me in picks because of the long break, but I have been taking picks for YUGA versus the Ramen Kid. So if anyone has been playing that game, remember the winner will be winning a PS5 or a new Xbox when the show comes to an end, whoever has the most points. So if you do want to get your picks in, make sure you email me before 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The email will be in the description. Without further ado, let's get into the summary. If you do not want any spoilers, now is your chance to click off the video. 3, 2, 1, let's begin. Episode 7 is titled, The Transfer Student is a Grade Schooler. Anytime I think of the transfer student, I always think of Vector from Zexal. Goha Corp has been having trouble eradicating rush duels. They currently have their eyes on Yuga's secret notes. Goha has a group of 6 executives known as Top of Hexagon, and now one of them will be sent to Goha 7th as a transfer student. So it really seems, based on this summary, that we are getting into the thick of things already, that we are getting into the main plot line already. We have been waiting for when Goha was going to make their move, and honestly, I didn't think Goha was going to do anything, except, kind of do things in the background, like remove videos off YouTube and have kind of minor roles. I didn't think they were going to do anything in the sense of getting involved in the main characters' lives, like in person, for a few more episodes, and the fact that we're getting it next week is really exciting. There's a few things that we can very easily speculate. The first is we most likely know the looks of these 6 executives that are being referred to in the summary, and that's because in the opening, right before we see Mr. Goha, we see 6 characters, and these 6 executives have to be Top of Hexagon. The way they're shown off in the opening, the way they seem to have a very important role because they are shown right before Mr. Goha is shown, I am convinced these are the 6 executives being mentioned in the summary, and I am also convinced that the transfer student we are going to see is the one in the middle. All of these characters, except one, are tall, older looking characters. In fact, the guy to the left of the shorter woman looks kind of like an older man based on the bottom of his face. It looks like he's an older gentleman. All of these characters except one are old. All of these characters except one are tall. And all of these characters except one are guys. But the one that is going to be playing the initial role, basically the debut role of Goha formally getting introduced in this story, is going to be that girl character in the middle. And we know it's a girl because she's wearing a skirt. All of the other executives are wearing tucked-in shirts, and that's a pretty common telltale sign that we have the 5 men and then the 1 girl who is young enough to be able to blend in to Goha 7th Elementary, which I also find really fascinating, right? Because executives, you have to have a lot of experience usually. You have to have either experience or a way into the company. And this makes me think that this young girl, who is clearly much younger in age, or at least based on this image, looks much younger in age, in contrast to the rest of the top of Hexagon members, it makes me think that she might have a personal connection to someone high up in Goha or Mr. Goha himself. Now, we know that no one actually knows the identity of Mr. Goha, or no one is supposed to know the identity. That was one of the early statements we got about him. But maybe this character does have some blood ties to Mr. Goha. And why is someone this young so high up and so involved in what the Goha Corporation is doing, when it seems like every other employee that we've seen is an older character? So there is a lot that really interests me about this girl, and I'm kind of really excited that she is the one that is going to be leading the charge for Goha in person to try and sabotage YUGA and sabotage Rush Duels, because she is the one that in this picture stands out the most. And so she's the one that obviously catches your attention, and it's supposed to catch your attention. She's put in the center, she's noticeably smaller than all of the other executives, and she's the only girl in this group. So it's really cool that we are not only getting her first, but getting her literally next week. And I'm really excited to learn more about her. And of course, we would have had a name. I think we would have had a lot of new names on the cast list, so it is quite a shame that the cast list is delayed until who knows how long. But definitely keep an eye for the cast list to come out, because not only are we going to get this girl's name, but we are probably going to be getting some other executives' names, I would imagine, some other members of top of Hexagon, unless of course Mr. Goha only calls in this girl because she's the only one that I guess could fit being a transfer student. And what kind of personality will she take on? She's going to be a transfer student. Is she going to try and be a friend and try and approach YUGA in a friendly manner? Or is she going to be confrontational, or maybe even a spy-like, kind of like how we saw Ramen act in the early stages and spy on this group and use information via spying to try and get to YUGA's house or get to YUGA's notebook to steal his Rush Duel notes. Whatever means that she takes to act and to fulfill her role is going to be really interesting to see. And I really do love, guys, how it seems already we are going right into this head-on. Right back from the break, of course, we have the Ramen Duel tonight, which should be entertaining. And this episode next week, episode 7, I'm already really looking forward to, because it's Goha getting involved. It's the introduction of another character, a character that I think is going to be pretty important, right? I mean, she's the first one debuting for Goha Corporation, and not only that, she's in the opening. So and she's part of the executive group, so I think she's going to be really important. I like the name Top of Hexagon as well. It's a cool name. It's obviously to represent the top brass of the company, and because there's 6 of them, a hexagon is a 6-sided polygon, so the name makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see what she looks like. It's exciting because when you see these characters, you're kind of in the back of your mind thinking, okay, well, we might never know what their face looks like. Right, they might just talk and have that mask on the entire time. But we are already going to get some duality from this girl. We know what she looks like in the opening, and I'm sure when she transfers, we are going to see what she actually looks like. So I guess that's what also excites me. We're getting another character that's going to have a brand new design, because even though she's in the opening, we really don't know what she looks like. So there's a lot of elements at play that are getting me very hyped for her debut and for this episode. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what's going to come of this girl and Goha Corporation and how YUGA and Co. are going to deal with this new transfer student. But guys, that is pretty much going to wrap things up here. I have really wanted to make this video the last 2 days just to really get in the flow again of course, making Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's content, and because I love talking to all of you about this. So please let me know all your thoughts in regards to Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's and in regards to this brand new summary as well. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons Jorge Carrillo, Horace Maye, Goosey Q, Smith620, Blue Maiden 28, Panther J, Vincent Van Der Veen, Nero, Jarrett Buller, and Aura Dragon, and to my Diamond tier patrons, Jesse Wood, Latrell Smith, Pegasus Seiya, and Brandon Gomez, and to my Egyptian God tier patron, Stella Sky. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon, thank you to everyone who is a channel member, and thank you to everyone who just watches my videos. Without you guys, I would not be able to do this. I will be back with more Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's content in the very near future. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.